We found in traveling across the country and looking at public opinion polls within Afghanistan that the situation is quite serious, that Afghans are increasingly concerned about their security situation. They're increasingly concerned about governance issues, and what that means is, from our standpoint, was there need to be very serious, what we call game-changing steps that are required to turn this situation that is clearly deteriorating in the country.
One of the recommendations in your report is that there needs to be more for training of the Afghan National Army and Police. Why do you think these efforts have not succeeded so far?
It took a long time for police training, first, to be viewed as important, and second, then, to have a real serious effort to build the institution of the Ministry of Interior. I think now where the Afghans and NATO and the United States have realized this, but it's pretty late.
Once you've created a force like this, you can never be particularly sure about where their loyalties are going to lie. Today you might, but tomorrow you might not. And also, as you recruit people for this, who are you recruiting? Are these going to be people who are really trustworthy? Are these really people who are already involved in militias and therefore may very well be as much criminal elements as they are anything else?
A lot of Afghans know that the tribal chiefs and village elders are important in their society. But some are saying that we only support the Taliban because we see them as an alternative to what was now becoming a corrupt government. What do you think about the rise of corruption in Afghanistan?
Well, I think the public opinion polls are pretty clear about this. One is that very high percentages of Afghans believe that there is corruption at the local level, at the provincial level, and at the national level. And second, that those trends are actually getting worse over time, so the levels of corruption are becoming more significant. And so what that means, I think, on the insurgency front is it is one of several factors that is driving people away from the government and towards opposition groups like the Taliban and Hekmatyar.
Ultimately, it's going to require, though, that decisions be made at the very top in the country to take a much more vigorous stand against corruption. So in the end, it's only going to be the Afghans themselves who I think are going to be able to solve this very, very important problem.
There really needs to be a link between the central government and these institutions. They cannot develop in different tracks. And so I would say if one looks, for example, at the Zahir Shah period, you did have a central government that could establish order in parts of the country, but when you did get into rural areas, there were local institutions that adjudicated local disputes. But there needs to be some sort of connection so that at the local level, there's not essentially a rebellion against the central government.
It's very critical now that the United States and its partners make it very clear that we'll be there as long as the Afghan people need us and want us.
To view the whole episode and share your thoughts, visit us online at aamtv.tv.